All right, good afternoon. The time is 12 o'clock, and I'll call this regular meeting of the Coppers Cove EDC to order. Invocation and pledge will be led by Joey Afaji.
If you can join me. Bow your heads. Father, thank you for this day for us to join together to conduct our meeting here, and we look for your guidance and seek that you provide us with the proper decisions as we go through this meeting. In your name and grace, we ask of you. Amen. Amen. Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Thank you, Joey. Brittany, will you call the roll, please?
Adam Martin.
Here.
Jeremy Tate.
Here.
Marcy Lowry. Here. Joey Afaji.
Here.
Diane Dressel. Here. And lastly, Chris Mulvey is absent.
Thank you. Are there any announcements by the board or the interim director? Brittany.
Thursday, February 28th, 2019, there's a special meeting at 8:30 to 10:30 at the Coppers Cove Technology Building. Thursday, February 28th, 2018, there's a chamber mixer at 5:30 to 6 at Star Group Veterans Helping Veterans. Friday, March 1st, 2019, is breakfast and business books at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Coppers Cove Public Library. Friday, March 1st, 2019, there will be another special meeting from 8:30 to 3 p.m. at the Coppers Cove ISD. Friday, March 8th, 2019, there's a coffee and conference, 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. at the Underground Games. Thursday, March 14th, 2019, there's another chamber mixer from 5:30 to 6:30 at 1406 South FM Suite 116.
Thank you.
I'd like to add two more.
Okay.
On March 2nd, I'd go ahead and wish one and all here in Texas happy Texas Independence Day this Saturday. And on March 24th, to all residents here of the city of Coppers Cove, have a wonderful birthday for the city. I believe it's 140 years.
That's a lot of birthdays. What's that? No. All right. Are we done for announcements? Any more?
No,
Okay.
that's it.
All right. Thank you. All right, moving on to Citizens Forum. At this time, citizens will be allowed to speak on any matter other than personnel matters, matters under litigation, or matters on the regular agenda for a length of time not to exceed 5 minutes per person. 30 minutes total has been allotted for this section. Is there anyone wishing to speak at Citizens Forum this afternoon? If so, please approach the podium. All right. Seeing none, we'll move on. Consent agenda. All matters listed under this item are considered to be routine by the EDC Board of Directors and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Item F1, consideration and action on approval of the minutes for the regular board meeting held on January 23rd, 2019. Brittany Sanders, Administrative Assistant, Coppers Cove Economic Development Corporation. Okay. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? Okay. What is the desire of the board?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes for the regular board meeting held on January 23rd of 2019.
Okay. Motion for approval by Jeremy.
I'll second that.
Second by Joey. Is there any additional discussion on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Motion carries. All right. Item G, public hearings. We have none today. Item H, action items. Item H1, discussion and direction on having the EDC-owned building located at 201 South 2nd Street demolished. Diane Dressel, Interim Director, Coppers Cove Economic Development Corporation.
Thank you. I was given direction by the board to find out some costs that would be related to having that building demolished if we've chosen not to renovate it or to whatever we want to dispose, however we want to get rid of it. I had requested a couple different quotes. I've only gotten one back, and that one came to a cost of $40,000, and that's for the building, the foundation, thank you, and the removal of all that. That does not include any fees related to asbestos, but we have to do that as well. I figured this is something that we will have to budget for, and we may have to amend the budget because after October 1, our insurance company will no longer insure a vacant building. So I just need to know what direction you all want me to go in, continue searching for that. And just bring more information to you when I get it.
Yeah, I would suggest find what the cost of the abatement is,
Yeah,
maybe
I don't
get
know.
some bids, and if we could get at least one more bid on the demolishing.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm waiting on one of them already.
Okay.
So yes, okay.
Marcy, Joey, any other thoughts?
No, I agree with that.
Okay. Jeremy? You good? So you got what you need? All right. Item I, reports from staff, outside entities, advisory committees, and boards. Item I1, presentation on hiring our heroes and other veteran job initiatives by Eric Putt, Central Texas Workforce Center. Diane Drussel, Interim Director, Coppers Cove EDC.
Eric was supposed to come a while back to talk about some of the initiatives that they have for veterans, hiring our heroes, and there are a couple of the other ones that we also will use as some of the incentives or speak to the other businesses who are looking to come here. That's just an added bonus for the workforce.
Good afternoon. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come here and speak on behalf of veterans exiting the military at Fort Hood. Currently, the HOH fellowship is on its 10th cohort. We have an 86% hire rate and average starting salary a little above $70,000. The way the Hire Our Heroes Corporate Fellowship Program works is during the last 180 days, veterans that are still active duty throughout the process or throughout the cohort and meet the minimum qualifications of having an associate's degree with leadership skills, approximately 5 years, or a bachelor's with 3 years. This program is specifically geared towards mid-grade officers, senior NCOs, and it was one of the first ones that was offered at Fort Hood. So the way the system works is participating employers speak with the program manager, which is Stephanie Watson, who's currently having an employer presentation day today, so she couldn't be here. Once all the participants are acknowledged that they can and participate, all of their resumes go out to our participating employers. Employers take a look at those resumes based off the needs at the time. If they're hiring and they're looking for a project manager or a manager of some sort, they look through those resumes and they pick out the ones that best fit based off of the skills that are in the resume. Just like an employer would if they were hiring anybody anyway. They schedule interviews and based off that interview, if the soldier who likes that business and done their research and then that employer likes that soldier will then go out there for 12 weeks, 4 days a week, Monday through Friday, civilian clothes, and work as if they were working for that company. The benefit to the company is they actually get to try out the veteran for those 12 weeks at no cost because they're still active duty. The military is paying their insurance. It's their appointed place of duty through their commander. So if they were injured on the job, that goes through the VA. And the idea behind it is that we can actually showcase some of them soft skills and some of the things we try to tell employers what the military can provide and actually do that on the job while they're working. The intent at the end of it is obviously a hire. And at any time, if, say, a veteran is going through the process and they enter transition leave, the leave period prior to the actual ETS or retirement date, if the employer makes an offer, the soldier graduates instantly and can go straight to work. That is one of currently 20 CSPs, and I have a brief that has a brief overview of all the different CSPs currently right now, and they're looking to expand. There's going to be 6 more. Some of the things that, one of the ones that I really like that's probably going to be the most beneficial to the EDC is a program called Heroes Make America. Same concept, soldiers that are exiting Fort Hood, their last 180 days, they go through a training program at CTC, and they exit with certification and credentials in manufacturing. So say we have a manufacturer that's coming here and they're looking at being in the business park for Coppers Cove. We can talk to them and show them that there is a pipeline of trained individuals coming out that can go directly to work for them in whatever industry that they may have. That one is funded partly due to the Skills for Transition grant, which is, I have some more information there, which any veteran coming back to Texas that plans to stay here can use if they come to the workforce. I can get you the information for that. So if you are an employer and you're looking at hiring a veteran and you want them to have that one certification or some training, we can send them to CTC and we can pay for it. That's in addition with the National Association of Manufacturers, and it's I want to say it's the Military Training Institute for that. They started their own nonprofit, realizing that in manufacturing there's a shortage of work across the country. So they actually fund 1/3 of the cost for the soldiers to go through this training. In the event that when the soldiers come out, they can take them and place them with members of the National Association of Manufacturers. Currently, there are only 2 locations that offer it. Fort Riley, Kansas, which is where they started, and currently they're on their 5th cohort here. It's also a 12-week program. That also offers different ways for veterans to go into other areas of manufacturing. People don't realize what all manufacturing is. BASF in Houston is looking for production techs. The majority of the class that they go through for Heroes Make America leads directly into their production tech certification. So BASF is going to set up and partner with CTC and come out of pocket for their own with all the equipment, all the training for their own course. So that once the soldiers exiting through the Heroes Make America, can talk with BASF, and then that would provide them an option for work, ideally wherever BASF is, but right now that's mostly on the coast. That's a very specific skill set that they're looking for. So I think that of the 75 that they're projecting annually of the soldiers going through this first year, they would only be taking a very small percentage of that, so that the rest would still be available. Some of the other benefits or programs we have, Veterans in Piping, the GM Raytheon Shifting Gears program. They're at no cost to the soldier. Veterans in Piping, as well as the millwrights, is union funded. So the Union of Carpenters and Joiners are saying that we have a lack of experience, we have a lack of people entering the field. They want to target veterans, but they are open to all. Currently, we're setting up some meetings with them to link up with some of our local school systems so that we can take some of the technical trades that we're teaching veterans, children, or just regular civilians, and get them in there. And it's all because of that process of them coming to Fort Hood and saying, we want veterans. And I said, well, we have veterans, but we also have qualified individuals, civilians that would do. Can you work with them too? Absolutely, because they're looking to boost that. And all of that is free training, either through apprenticeships or the union is actually paying for it. Ooh. Some of the benefits as well, I was speaking earlier, we were talking about CTC has a police academy, and that's actually what DFW uses. That's funded through the GI Bill. Several of the rest of these are through the GI Bill, so you have Troops of Transportation, the VA Warrior Training and Assessment, Caliber Collision, the City of Austin internship programs, and an SAP course. The idea behind all of these is that they can use their GI Bill to go through the training so they can be hireable at the end of it. Some of these also offer the incentive that once you get out and you're going through your early stages, they understand that your benefits and the money that you made in the military is going to drop. So they allow you to use the GI Bill to compensate. And there's specific gates as you get promoted that money goes down. So at the end of it, of your 36 months of your GI Bill, you would still have approximately 24 months of it remaining. So that if you ever decided you wanted to go back to school because that career wasn't working, you could still utilize that ability. I won't get in touch with too many of them. I will take specific questions if anybody wants a copy of this so that you can look through. I have them. Does anybody else want a copy real quick? Another benefit that I want to talk about as far as when we're talking to employers, specifically that want to come to this area, we have a multitude of grants. One I touched on was the Skills for Transition grant, which is a state grant through the Office of the Governor that we can pay $2,000 for a specific certification. Another one we have is a National Dislocated Worker Grant, and this is for soldiers that were affected by the RIF. Currently, we're not in a RIF anymore. But there are still ways that soldiers can apply if they were separated through no fault of their own, i.e. through med board or certain types of physical chapters or regular chapters, as long as it's an honorable discharge. And this is also the same grant that would pay for civilian layoffs. So if we had a business that people were laid off from, we can help pay for education up to 60 credit hours to get them back to work as soon as possible, stop drawing from the unemployment pool, and start putting money back into the community. And the last one is a grant for military spouses. Along the same lines as the one for soldiers with a dislocated worker, 60 credit hours or certifications in order to get them back to work. If you already have a master's degree, chances are this grant would not work for you. However, if you were dislocated, say my prime example is as a nurse or a teacher from another state. So you have a soldier and they were a nurse, their spouse was a nurse in Watertown, New York. When they moved to Texas, there's no reciprocity. They can't be a nurse down here. We can pay to get them certified and back to work so that they're earning money and putting it back into the community. Same for teachers. And then one of the benefits is once we get them certified in Texas, they're part of the compact states. So the majority of the states that get PCS after that, they would actually be able to go straight back to work. That is a federally funded grant, so it's not coming straight out of ours. It comes through DOL, and it's a really good thing, especially when you're talking about a family who may have PCS, and when you bring them down here, you've effectively forced them to lose half of their income for the family, which can lead to among hardships, but increased stress, which is not anything necessarily we want to have with our soldiers deploying. And how that benefits when we're talking with employers. So the same thing, when we have an employer come in and they say, well, we need specific set of training so that we can train these folks. We have these tools in our toolkit that we can use and talk to them and show them. And then there's other availabilities too. If there's apprenticeship, we're starting to look at apprenticeship funds from the state as well as far as training. And then last is work opportunity tax credits. If you're familiar with work opportunity tax credits, or WOTC, there hasn't been much change. But one of the things is if you take a veteran that has been on unemployment and you hire them, there's actually a tax credit where it benefits the employer. And I don't have the specific numbers, but I have the information of how to apply and what information you will actually need. The tax credits range between $1,200 and $9,600 a year. So that's a big boost, especially if you're a small business and you're looking to hire veterans. Other than that, I can take some questions.
Thank you so much for coming out and talking through some of these. I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
The main goal of the EDC is to grow the tax base by attracting new businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that. We're out trying to sell Copper's Cove. And as you might imagine one of our big pitches is the availability of workforce, both skilled labor coming out of Fort Hood and those that are trainable. And we're aware of some of these programs that you talked through, but we can't recite them or do any justice to them like you have. And I guess my question is, if we are well into a negotiation with a potential employer coming to the area, would it be possible for you or one of your staff to visit with us in the
Absolutely.
okay.
Diane has my cell phone. If she needs to call me at midnight and tell me there's something I need to be at 9 o'clock in the morning, I can make sure myself or Frank are over here to try and speak logically on some of the processes we have.
I mean, to maybe tailor it down to
Yeah, exactly. As long as we know what the specific is, and we're getting pretty good at sharing all of our tools. So a lot of the LMI information, Diane already has access through. Now that we have Charlie working for us over at the board office, she can drill some of that information down. But when it comes down to these specific military programs, and we can also contact. We know the people at Fort Hood to contact to see if they want to, explore. Say, we have this. Could we start our own CSP? Depending on the size of the business and how much they want to start. So, absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. If you want any information specific, or if you want it to hand out or put on your Facebook page, I'll have some back there. And thank you for sharing this on your blog. I appreciate it.
moving on to reports from staff outside, excuse me, we've already done that. Items for future agendas.
Can you hear me now? All right. Any items for future agendas? Going once, going twice. All right, moving on to executive session. Convene into executive session pursuant to Section 551.071, Advice of Counsel, and Section 1.05, Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct, in addition to specific sections stated below. Item K1, pursuant to subsection 551.087 of the Open Meetings Act Texas Government Code, the EDC Board will meet in executive session for deliberation regarding economic development negotiation, ED number 2018-3, Project Etch. Item K2, pursuant to subsection 551.087 of the Open Meetings Act Texas Government Code, the EDC Board will meet in executive session for deliberation regarding economic development negotiation, ED number 2018-4, Project GLOW. Item K3, pursuant to subsection 551.071 and subsection 551.074 Texas Government Code, the EDC Board will meet in executive session for deliberation regarding process and options for obtaining a new executive director. All right, so the time is now 12:23, and we will adjourn into, yes?
Can I address the board real quick, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
My name is Charlie Youngs. I'm councilman, and I'm your liaison. This is strictly my feeling. It may not have been the last two liaisons, but I will not be attending your executive session. I feel that this is your private time. It is for your eyes. Eventually, the council will get whatever your decision is for our own discussion. But I don't want to, and I talked a little bit with the interim city manager, I don't want to attend your executive session and say something, and you guys feel somehow intimidated because I'm on the council and this is how I want you guys to go, or the council wants you to go. That's the farthest from the truth. You're independent. You're an independent board. You've been appointed to make those decisions and make those discussions. So I'm sorry I missed the first meeting, but I will attend the meetings, but I will not attend executive session. That's your bag.
We appreciate that, sir. All right, the time is now 12:24, and we will adjourn into executive session. We good to go? All right, the time is now 12:59, and we are reconvening the regular meeting. No action was taken in executive session, so at this time, 12:59, we are adjourned. I'm still at 12:59.